He said, "Every man cheats." So I showed him every woman can leave. Please stay with me as I tell my story. And please don't forget to support by subscribing, liking, and sharing with people you love. Your support means the world to us. Now to our story. He looked right at me very calm and said, "Every man cheats. It's just biology." Like he was talking about the weather, like it was something true that I was supposed to believe. I remember how he said it, how relaxed he sounded, like he wasn't breaking everything we built together in one sentence. We had been together for 2 years, engaged for 6 months. I thought I knew him. Everyone else thought he was the perfect guy. Nice, well-dressed, successful, the kind of man that moms loved and friends felt jealous about. We had picked out the house, set the wedding date. I had no reason to doubt him until I did. I wasn't looking through his things. I didn't go searching for anything. One night, he fell asleep with his phone unlocked on the bed. Buzzed once, then again. I looked. The message preview showed a heart emoji and said, "Last night was amazing. Can't stop thinking about you." My stomach felt terrible. I opened it. There were months of messages, pictures, videos, plans for weekends when he told me he was on business trips. He told her he loved her. He told her he was single and she wasn't the only one. I waited. I didn't wake him up. I just sat there reading everything over and over while he snored next to me like nothing was wrong. In the morning I acted normal. I made coffee. I even kissed him on the cheek before he left for work. That night I asked him nicely if there was something he wanted to tell me. He said, "No." I asked again more clearly. He laughed, then said it. "Every man cheats. It's nature. You'll never do better than me." He didn't say sorry. Didn't show he felt bad. He looked at me like I was dumb for being upset. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just nodded. He thought I'd forgive him. Thought I'd stay. Thought I'd be too scared to leave because we were so perfect. He didn't know I had already taken screenshots, that I had already talked to one of the other women, that I had a plan. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to ruin him, and he would never ever see it coming. To everyone else, he was husband material. To me, he became a stranger overnight. We met in college during our 2nd year. He sat next to me in an economics class and made some silly joke about supply and demand. I laughed even though it wasn't funny. That's how it started. From there it was late-night study sessions, coffee runs, walks across campus holding hands. He was charming, smart, and confident. People liked being around him. I felt lucky to be the one he chose. He was big on nice surprises, surprise flowers, fancy dinners, weekend trips. On our 1-year anniversary, he took me to a rooftop restaurant and gave me a letter he'd written about how I changed his life. I cried. He held me. My friends said we were the perfect couple. My parents loved him. My dad even said, "That guy's a keeper." On social media we looked perfect. Matching outfits on holidays, vacation selfies on beaches. His arm always around me like he couldn't imagine being anywhere else. People commented, "Goals. When's the wedding? You two are perfect." And I believed it. I believed him when he said he worked late. I believed him when he said he didn't like me wearing short skirts because he just didn't want other guys looking. I believed him when he laughed off his jokes about how all women cheat and that it's why men have to stay one step ahead. I told myself he was just being silly, that it didn't mean anything. The warning signs were there. I just didn't want to see them. He started getting weird about his phone, always face down. He took it to the bathroom, to the shower, even to the laundry room. When I asked why, he'd joke, "You don't trust me?" and kiss me like I was being paranoid. He'd disappear on weekends saying he had guys' nights or work trips, but never took pictures, never posted anything. Still, I ignored it because when we were together he made me feel special, important, like I was his entire world, and I wanted so badly for it to be true. But the lie didn't stay hidden forever. One small message, one unexpected moment. That was all it took. In a single night, everything I believed about him cracked open. The man who made me feel like I was his forever, he wasn't even mine to begin with. I didn't go through his phone. I didn't need to. His other girl introduced herself to me at brunch. Started with a random DM. Some girl I didn't know sent, "Hey, I think we need to talk about your boyfriend." I rolled my eyes and ignored it. Thought it was spam or some bitter ex trying to start drama. We were solid. I was wearing his ring. We had wedding colors picked out. No way was I going to let some stranger ruin that. A week later I went to brunch with a few girlfriends. We picked this trendy little spot downtown. One of those mimosa and avocado toast places packed with people and loud music. Halfway through our meal, I noticed a girl staring at me from across the restaurant. Pretty tall. She looked familiar in that "do I follow her on Instagram?" kind of way. She kept glancing over. I figured maybe she recognized me from my posts with him. She walked over just as we were getting the check. I remember the look on her face, tight, nervous but calm. She said, "Hey, I'm so sorry to bother you, but are you dating Ethan?" I blinked. "He's my fiancé." Her mouth opened slightly. She looked sick. "I've been dating him too," she said. "For 8 months." The table went silent. My heart dropped. She pulled out her phone and started scrolling through photos. Him kissing her, holding her hand in bed. Messages, gifts I thought he gave only to me. The same lines, same compliments, same weekend trips, just copy and pasted into a different timeline. She had no idea about me. No idea he was engaged. We both just sat there for a second. Two women with the same broken look, same sinking feeling. He'd been playing both of us like we were side characters in his little game. She wasn't angry at me and I wasn't angry at her. We got coffee the next day, compared timelines, took screenshots. We saw how carefully he'd managed both lives. 2 phones, 2 sets of stories, 2 women thinking they were his only one. He was good at lying but not good enough. Something changed between us. Betrayal turned into quiet teamwork. We didn't cry in front of each other. We just planned. Me the fiancé. Her the secret girlfriend. Both embarrassed, both done being fooled. We weren't going to fight over him. We were going to expose him together. I waited until a Monday night to confront him. I knew he'd be tired, off guard, not ready for anything serious. He came home like nothing was wrong. Kissed me on the forehead, dropped his bag. Asked what was for dinner. I told him I made pasta. He smiled, sat down on the couch, started scrolling his phone. I sat across from him. Calm, quiet. "I need to ask you something," I said. He looked up. "What's up? How long have you been lying to both of us?" He blinked. "What?" I didn't flinch. "I met her. The other girl at brunch. She had photos, messages, dates. You've been seeing her for 8 months. He stared at me like I was speaking another language. Then he chuckled, a dry, slow, smug laugh. "You're overreacting," he said, like I just accused him of forgetting to do the dishes. "It's not that serious." My hands were folded in my lap. I kept my voice low. "You're engaged to me. You told her you were single." He leaned back, arms stretched across the couch, still acting like he was in control. "Every man cheats. It's just how we are. It's nature. You'll never find a guy who doesn't." That's when I hit record on my phone, tucked under a throw pillow beside me. He kept talking, bragging almost. Said, "Women don't get it." Said men need variety. Said I was lucky he still came home to me, like that was some kind of reward. "You're not going anywhere," he added, smirking. "You love me too much." I nodded like I agreed, like I was swallowing it all. But inside I felt cold, completely done. Not sad, not hurt, just focused. I wasn't going to cry. I had cried enough already. This wasn't about begging for answers. This was gathering evidence. After a few more minutes of his excuses, he got up to shower. I sat on the couch, still recording, listening to the water turn on. He thought he won, thought he could spin it, control the story, and I'd eventually get over it. He didn't know I already had everything I needed. He didn't know she was waiting for my text. He didn't know I was leaving soon. And he definitely didn't know that every word he just said was saved. He wanted to play games. Now he was about to lose everything. If he wanted to play games, I was about to become the game master. I didn't leave right away. That's what he expected me to do. Storm out crying, beg for answers, come crawling back when I cooled down. So I stayed. I smiled. I kissed him goodnight. I asked about his day like nothing had happened. It made his ego grow. He thought I was weak, thought I'd forgiven him. That was his first mistake. The second he left for work the next morning, I got to work. I started by gathering everything I needed. Screenshots of texts, photos he'd sent her. The recording of his little speech about every man cheats. I backed it all up in cloud storage, sent copies to a friend just in case he got suspicious. I printed some too, just for fun. Next, I started moving things quietly. Jewelry, heirlooms, passport, a few favorite outfits. I took them to my sister's place and told her everything. She didn't say a word, just handed me a glass of wine and said, "Say the word and we'll burn it all down." Then I handled the money, canceled the joint credit card, opened a new account in my name only, rerouted my direct deposit. I left just enough in the shared account to keep him blind. At night I cooked dinner, laughed at his dumb jokes, slept next to him like nothing had changed. Meanwhile, the other woman and I were texting daily. We started comparing notes, collecting more evidence. Turns out he told her he hated clingy girls while calling me too independent. He played both of us in opposite directions. We were done being played. Then I created a fake Reddit account and uploaded it all. The screenshots, the side-by-side lies, the manipulation. I titled it, "My fiancé of 2 years told me every man cheats, so I found the others." Within hours it blew up. People were tagging their friends, sharing it across forums, calling him garbage. The post made it to Twitter, then to TikTok. Then someone made a dramatic reading of it on YouTube. He had no idea. He was sitting across from me that night at dinner telling me about his fantasy football league, while half the internet was dragging him through digital hell. The next day I sent her the plan. We were leaving on the same day, same hour. He thought he was winning. He had no idea the game was already over. He came home to an empty apartment and a box labeled "Cheaters Live Here," sitting right in the middle of the living room floor. I waited until he left for work, just like always, kissed him goodbye, told him I'd be working from home. He didn't suspect a thing. He never did. That was the beauty of it. He thought I was stupid enough to stay, too in love to leave. He had no idea I'd already planned every detail. As soon as the door shut, I moved fast. My sister showed up with her truck. We packed everything I owned in under 3 hours. I'd already boxed up the important stuff days ago. He just never noticed. That's how checked out he really was. I left a few things behind, carefully placed. In the toilet bowl, sitting in the water like trash, was my engagement ring. No note, no explanation, just that cold little symbol of everything fake he'd ever promised me. On the kitchen table I left a collage. I printed out all his flirty texts to other women, taped them together like a scrapbook. From the bottom in red Sharpie I wrote, "Every man cheats, huh? Good luck explaining this one." But the real hit came later. He'd been bragging for weeks about a huge promotion interview at his company. Said he was finally moving into a director-level role, that it would change everything. I smiled every time he talked about it, cheered him on, pretended to care. The morning after I moved out, I sent an anonymous email to his boss. Screenshots attached. Messages, photos, his voice recorded laughing about how he manipulated women and lied to keep them in check. I didn't sign it. Didn't need to. The evidence spoke loud enough. By the time he got home that night, it was all unraveling. No furniture, no fiancé, no job opportunity. The walls echoed. The silence was louder than any screaming I could have done. He tried to call. I blocked him. Tried to text. Blocked. Emailed me from another account. I flagged it as spam. He had spent years perfecting the lie. I took it apart in one day. And the best part? He still didn't know how many more people were about to come forward. This wasn't just revenge. This was the beginning of the end. His mom called me sobbing. His job called to cancel his contract. And somehow he still thought I'd take him back. I hadn't said a word to his family. I didn't need to. I let Facebook do the talking. I posted one photo, our engagement ring floating in the toilet. No caption, no explanation, just the image. The comments exploded within minutes. Then came the TikTok. I took the audio recording of him saying, "Every man cheats. It's just nature. You'll never do better than me," and used a voice filter to disguise it. Added the screenshots of his messages, the brunch reveal, and the part where he bragged about never getting caught. I didn't say his name. Didn't need to. Enough people knew. The video went viral overnight. Over 2 million views. Comments flooded in from women, men, even therapists weighing in on the toxic mess. He didn't see it right away, but his family did. His sister messaged me first. "Is this real?" Then his cousin. "You okay? You don't deserve this." Then his mom, full call, crying. I raised him better. She kept saying. I didn't have the heart to tell her he'd always been like that. He just hid it well. Later that week, I got a message from a woman named Tara. I didn't recognize her name, but her profile picture made my stomach twist. She worked at the same company as him. She said they'd been hooking up for months, that he told her we were basically broken up. She saw the TikTok and realized she wasn't the only one. Turns out he'd been messing around with her during work trips. She wasn't even the last. There were more. Always more. Someone forwarded the video to his boss, then to HR. He'd been lined up for a huge promotion. Contract pending. The company pulled it before it could even be signed. They said he violated the company's relationship policy by sleeping with a coworker and publicly embarrassing their brand. He called me that night. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. Said he messed up. Said we could fix it. Said he still loved me. I listened to the message once. Deleted it. I had no plans to fix anything. I wasn't looking back. He was finally feeling what I felt the night I read that first message. Only difference. I healed. He was just starting to break. He told everyone I was crazy. Said I'd snapped. Said I was making it all up to get attention. After the TikTok and the Facebook post, he went into damage control mode fast. He started texting our mutual friends saying I'd lost it, that I was jealous and emotional because he broke off the engagement. Claimed I edited the screenshots, said the video was fake, that I was just trying to ruin his life because I couldn't have him. I didn't respond. Not once. I let him talk. Let him twist the story. And then the other women started showing up. The first one DM'd me with a screenshot from Bumble. He matched with her just a few weeks before the brunch incident. Told her his name was Eli. Same photos, same cheesy one-liners. She said he'd been flirting with her while texting me sweet goodnight messages. The second one found me on Instagram. She'd been seeing him casually for 3 months, said he told her he was newly single and recovering from a toxic ex. Meaning me. She had pictures, voice notes. One of them recorded in our apartment while I was at work. Then a third woman messaged me. And a fourth. Each one shocked to learn he wasn't just cheating, he was building a whole fake life with each of us. Telling one woman he wanted a family, another that he didn't believe in marriage, another that he was still recovering from heartbreak. He wasn't dating. He was collecting. What he built wasn't just betrayal. It was a web of lies woven so tightly he couldn't keep his stories straight anymore. And the best part? The women started talking to each other. I connected them in a group chat. We compared notes, screenshots, timelines. He had been lying to all of us in different ways, customizing each version of himself like we were job interviews and he was pitching a different resume. It became clear this wasn't just a guy who cheated. He was a narcissist, a manipulator. And the only reason it all fell apart was because we finally stopped believing the same rehearsed lie. The group grew. More women, more stories. And through it all, I said nothing publicly. I didn't have to defend myself anymore. He tried to control the story. But the truth, his truth, was already out there. He lost his job. His family blocked him. And I booked a trip to Italy. It didn't all fall apart overnight for him. Anyway, it was slow, ugly, desperate. After the cheating story spread, the TikTok went viral again. Someone recognized him and posted a reaction video. Then another woman added her story. People from his past started chiming in. Old classmates, former coworkers, even an ex from college who said, "This sounds familiar." His company released a quiet statement that he was no longer employed. No details, just gone. His mom deleted her Facebook. His sister unfollowed him on everything. His cousin, who once called us relationship goals, commented on one of my posts. "You deserved better." We all thought he was someone else. He started messaging me again from different numbers, different accounts. First it was angry. "You ruined my life." Then it turned to begging. "I miss you. Please let's talk." I didn't respond. Not once. While he spiraled, I did the opposite. I took time off work, got a fresh haircut and packed my suitcase. I booked a solo trip to Italy, Florence, Venice, Rome. Ate pasta in little cafes, wore red lipstick, took photos on cobblestone streets with zero makeup and a glass of wine in hand. I posted everything. Smiling, free, alive. Back home, I got a surprise email from my boss. Apparently, my project had impressed a higher-up at the company. I got a promotion and a bonus. Life was finally moving forward without the weight of him dragging behind me. As for the other women, many of them were healing. A few started therapy. Some blocked him. Some wrote long goodbye messages and walked away. One of them told me, You saved me from wasting another year of my life. Another said, I never would have known if you hadn't posted. I didn't save anyone. I just exposed the truth. The rest? They did on their own. He kept emailing long messages, paragraphs talking about childhood trauma, stress, fear of commitment, trying to make me feel sorry for him, telling me he's changed, that he's ready to be better. I didn't even open the last few. Just saw his name and hit delete. He thought I was going to fall apart, but I wasn't broken. I was done. And finally free. And now it had a spotlight. He said I'd never find better than him. He was wrong. A year later, my life looked nothing like the one I had with him. I moved to a new city, got a cozy apartment with huge windows and quiet neighbors, decorated it with things I loved, plants, books, warm lights. No more hiding who I was to make someone else comfortable. I had a new job, a team that respected me, a boss who actually listened. I worked hard, but I wasn't burned out. And I smiled a lot. Not the fake kind I used to wear around him. Real, soft, peaceful smiles that stayed even when no one was looking. And yes, there was someone new. I wasn't looking for him. He just showed up one day at a coffee shop, asked about the book I was reading, and made me laugh within 5 minutes. We took things slow. No games, no secrets. He didn't flinch when I talked about the past. Didn't try to fix me. He just held space and listened. He never once made me feel small. One weekend we were walking back from a farmer's market, arms full of peaches and flowers, when I saw him, my ex, standing outside a liquor store, alone, disheveled, hair a mess, dark circles under his eyes. He looked like someone who hadn't slept in days. He saw me, froze, then walked over slow, like he wasn't sure if I'd run or scream. I still love you, he said. Just like that, as if time hadn't passed, as if everything he did could just be erased. I didn't get angry. I didn't even feel much at all. I looked at him for a long second, then said, I don't think about you at all. And that was the truth. I didn't need revenge anymore. I didn't need closure. I didn't need him to understand how badly he hurt me, because I wasn't carrying it anymore. He was. Every lie, every mistake. That was his weight now, not mine. I turned and walked away, the flowers in my hand brushing against my leg, his voice fading behind me. He said I'd never find better. I didn't. I found peace.